We talk about a lot of fun builds on this channel, but I just want to show you what one class ability can do on a prismatic build. See here guys, that's a pretty crazy interaction. We're going to be basing this build using Thruster, the exotic chest piece Hoarfrost, along with the exotic helm Capri's Horn, with the Strand aspect, Drengear's Lash. Now we're going to be combining all these into one ability and getting a very nice effect. Let's get stuck into it, guys. Now, you're probably thinking, how has he managed to get two exotic effects at the same time? And that is purely because of the mark Stoicism. Now, it's an exotic mark, gives you the ability to run two, I guess what you would say, neutered exotic perks, but not quite in this case. The exotic perks that this mark is rolling, they're actually an improvement on the original. And we'll go into exactly why that is, starting with the first perk, which is Spirit of Hoarfrost. Now, Spirit of Hoarfrost is an interesting one because the original, the standalone exotic, you actually need to run the Stasis Super to actually get the benefit out of it. But because we're running the Prismatic, it works with every class type, so you can use it with Arc, Void, anything, and it will still activate. And as you can see, activating Thruster creates stasis crystals, so they come in a V-shaped pattern, 2 crystals, and as you can see in the opening footage there, works very well in tandem with what else we're working with. And that brings us to the second perk, Spirit of the Horn. Now this is going to act a little bit differently to usual. Usually on a solar class, this would send out 3 solar waves in front, and basically the waves would end in sunspots, whereas now, wherever you use your thruster ability, it sends out an X pattern directly below where you activate that ability, and at the tips of the X, you're going to get some sunspots occurring there. So, as you can see there in the background, completely mopped up that Hydra there. Really, really beneficial, and works very nicely in tandem with the stasis crystals. Next thing I'm going to look at is the subclass overview. So looking at our abilities there, we're going to be using Thruster, the Strafe Jump, Shield Throw, and the Shackle Grenade, accompanied by aspects as Drengear's Lash. Now Drengear's is going to give us a knot, a threaded knot. When we use the class ability, it's going to shoot up directly upwards, and that's going to explode due to our ice crystals and solar energy going out at the same time. So we get solar, we get stasis, we get we get Strand as well, all in one ability activation. So really, really cool to have. Let's jump into the fragments now, guys. We're going to have Facet of Devotion and Facet of Courage. Now, very similar. Basically, targets that are debuffed by darkness take extra damage from light. Facet of Justice, while transcendent, your ability Final Blows explodes. So when we get our ability, class ability off, it's going to get some extra ignitions there. Next up, we're going to have the Facet of Ruin. So basically, it increases the size of our shattered crystals and explosions from solar. Facet of Command, which gives us weapon reload when enemies are frozen, so ties in nice with the stasis. And Facet of Hope gives us, once we have an elemental buff, like Void Overshield, it's going to give us class ability regeneration. Moving on to weapons now. Now, it doesn't really matter what you run. I just run what I've been feeling comfortable with, which is Mint. Takes care of anti-barrier and unstoppable with the artifact perks. We'll get into that in a sec. Energy weapon, no hesitation. Looks after our overload and heals our allies. And then Haliatus for the power weapon, only because Bray Legacy actually recharges your highest recharging ability. So if my class ability is at 80%, and my melee's at 40, it's going to choose to actually regen my class ability. Next up, it's going to be our armor. We're going to start with the helm, so running 2 times of Dynamo. So using class ability near our enemies, it's going to generate super and thermodynamic siphon because we're going to generate orbs with solar and strand weapons. Our arms, we're going to be running 3 times focusing strike. Now, focusing strike only requires us to hit an enemy to generate class ability. Moving on to the chest. So the chest piece, we're going to be running the 2 times strand ammo generation. And then on the legs, we're going to have stacks on stacks, which creates an armor charge, an additional armor charge when you pick up an orb of power, and the class ability regeneration when you pick up an orb of power as well. And last of all, I want to go over the artifact quickly. I'll give you an overview of the items I've selected, but there is a few that I'd just like to highlight. Now, as usual, just pick the ones that you're comfortable with in that first column. Ideally, you want to be able to cover everything, but one that I would like to look out for in the first column is obviously going to be Flame, Fire, and Freeze. If you've got the weapons for it, definitely take it. It really generates a lot of orbs for you. In the first column as well, we're going to have Threadling Proliferation. Now, that's working really nicely in tandem with our Mint, along with Pack Tactics there. You get a lot of Threadlings going, especially if you've already got Threadlings attached to the weapon. And the other one to look out for is Cauterized Darkness, because we're always going to be suspending enemies there and lighting them up with a lot of our solar weaponry there. Only other thing to add is class stats, so make sure that your class ability is over 100. The more over your 100 you go, the higher your overshield's going to be when you use thruster. So look, see it as a benefit. If you get in a bit of a pickle there, just use your class ability, you'll get a huge overshield and you'll be able to get evidence. So look, really happy with how this one turned out. I know it's a little bit different, it's a bit quicker, but I think it's a little bit more streamlined than the other ones I've been doing. So let me know what you think. And let me know what you think of the build too. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one.